So we are at the Hiranandani Knowledge Park at the financial capital of Bombay, and we are visiting the SDA Bocconi Asia Center today for our video in the series of A Day in the Life of. So what are we going to do today? We are going to explore this particular campus. We're going to talk to students here and try and understand what keeps them going in the day here and what are the kind of learnings that they derive from the day that they spend here. So let's get going with me and explore this particular campus.
Oh, hi, Paul.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hi. Your name?
Anupam Srivastava.
Hi, Anupam.
Hi.
I was told that I will be meeting students here
Yeah.
at SDA Bocconi Asia Center. I did not expected that I'll meet someone so soon. Let's have a seat.
We are really happy to have you on the campus.
Thank you very much. This is probably the 6th or 7th time I'm here, but I am coming here today with a very different objective. I want to learn from your lens as to what happens on a daily basis here. So help me understand, Anupam. Where are you from, and what exactly is the life around here?
So I'm from Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. It's a very small city in Madhya Pradesh. I did my law from Pune, and post that I thought I'll work in a corporate as a corporate lawyer for 3 years. And I was a bit inclined towards the business side of the company, and that's why I thought of doing my MBA. But then I came to know about the SDA Bocconi Asia Center. The college has a legacy of around 50 years and it's world recognized. It has all the triple accreditations, which is IQUIS, AMBA and AACSB. So it was my first priority.
I saw you were preparing something as well. Was this for the class?
Oh yes, I was working on a digital marketing campaign for Professor Kiara's class.
How global is this particular institute, and do you feel that you are in a global institute?
So most of our professors fly down from Milan, and they even have their own experience of working in different companies like McKinsey and Bain, and that is why they bring a lot of knowledge, which is practical experience which they have. Oh, Paul, you remember the digital event class which I talked about?
Yeah.
It's almost time, we better get going.
Am I allowed?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, let's go. Hey. Hi. Hi. Sorry, so I was part of this particular class that Anupam led me to.
Right.
I don't know you. Who am I talking to?
I'm Ananya. I am a student of IMB 5 here. I also just got done with the class. So
Lovely.
first you tell me, how was your experience with the class?
It was great actually. I've never thought that I'll be part of any of these classes.
Right.
Usually what I do is I usually talk to people and try and understand what
Right.
their life is.
Right.
But I got a glimpse of that for sure here.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit, Ananya, if you can help me proceed this particular understanding of your...
Oh sure, I'd love to.
Lovely.
Let's get into a conversation.
Sure. Let's go. Okay, so Ananya, tell me a little bit about you. I mean, it was nice having you on the corridor. Tell me a little bit about you.
Yeah, so I'm a student of IMB 5 here, and I have been very active with academics and co-curriculars and everything that's going on the side. So I just got done with this particular strategy class, and I love it because the learnings that are given by our professor, it's always a case study system, and we do Harvard case studies, and all the learnings are really applicable in the case studies that we do and the competitions that we participate in. So for example, like right now we have a Cartier competition running in campus. So it's a French luxury brand, and they want to enter the Indian market. So they wanted our insights as to how should they go about crafting their go-to-market strategy.
Right.
So, everything that Professor Badale has taught, all the strategies and everything, we were able to use it and we were able to present it, and it was a very empowering feeling. And, the kind of sources we have, like the digital library and the access to so many databases. Like, for example, I'm enrolled in a live project right now with one of the professors. So it's about a research paper.
Yeah.
And for that, we have access to this platform called Orbis. And it has immense amount of database, and, playing with data is something I really like.
Let's talk about the courses that SDA Bocconi offers here. What are the courses that you guys have in here? What is the course that you are part of, and what are the specifics of that curriculum? If you can just touch upon it a little.
Right. So currently, I am enrolled in the International Masters in Business program, which is a proper 2-year MBA. Otherwise, we also have an executive MBA course and a global management course. So in the it's called GEMBA. The global management course is the Rotman School of Management from Canada and SDA Bocconi Milan. They have a partnership of sorts, and the students they collectively come over to India and spend about 2 weeks here in the Asia Center, and it's a very good immersive experience. And you know, it's amazing because we also get to interact to them and the executive MBA people, and the learning becomes very holistic like that.
So Ananya, you were sharing about the kind of classes that happens here, the academics that you go through, the kind of people that you meet every day, the kind of faculty members that are there. Tell me a little bit about how your program or the kind of curriculum that you have differentiates SDA Bocconi as a different B school than any other B school or the general B schools that you find.
I believe that the most striking feature of our curriculum is that it is a very beautiful amalgamation of all that the Milan campus has to offer, and how all those courses have been custom created to cater to the Indian segment as well. We have faculty, visiting faculty from abroad all the time, but it's not like they're coming here for the first time. They've been coming here for over 10 years, so they have adapted their teaching styles so beautifully that fits in so well that it also caters to our learning path, and also catering to the international standards at the same time. So that amalgamation, I think, is what sets us apart. Like I said, like how the international standards and what SDA Bocconi stands for, the global learning and everything, how that meets the Indian requirements is the beauty of our course, and that's something I believe really sets us apart.
So Ananya, you were giving me the tidbits about the kind of academic life that you have, but a B school student's life has more than this.
Exactly.
And I'm talking about the clubs and committees and all the other razzmatazz that is part of your life, and I'm sure it's part of your lives here as well.
Definitely.
And I'm hoping that in my journey today I will meet somebody like you, just like I met you on the corridor, who can tell me a little more about these things.
Sure. I think our campus is usually always very lively, but you will definitely find somebody in the games room doing a lot of amazing stuff there.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
Why don't you just take me there?
Sure, I will.
Let's go. Okay, guys.
Hey,
Hi, who's winning?
I'm winning.
Okay.
Whatever.
So, I was talking to one of your friends, Ananya, and she told me to come in here to meet somebody who probably might help me understand this particular institute better. So, who am I talking to?
I'm Saurabh.
Hi, Saurav.
Naina.
Hi, Naina. Okay, Saurav, Naina, I am here to understand the life beyond academics from you guys. So tell me a little bit about, what exactly do you guys do? I saw for a fact that you guys are playing here. So is this like a regular affair for you?
Yeah, actually after classes, most of the students come around here and we play table tennis and foosball. It's actually a really fun way to, break all the stress after classes and have fun.
Right. But I'm sure you are also part of some clubs or committee that is also
Yeah,
part
of
of the
course.
B school students.
So
right?
we have an array of these things. We have the academic clubs and the non-academic clubs. So currently I am the president for the luxury club, which is one of the academic clubs.
And what is your involvement in the club? Are you busy a lot of times after you're done with your classes? You have to take up a lot of responsibility. How does that pan out?
So I'm somebody who's really passionate about the luxury industry. I want to enter that space. So it's never felt like work to me. And the kind of stuff that we do, it's not really theoretical per se, because it is a lot of application based. There's a lot of interaction with the industry, a lot of networking that happens. We go to various events, and just yesterday we had a guest lecture by the Chief Strategy Officer of Tata Clique. So that was amazing. Tata Clique Luxury, it was so good. The session was amazing.
And what is your take on the clubs and committees? Are you a member of any of those committees that you're part of?
Yeah.
Are there any specific committees that you guys have that we don't often see or hear?
Sure. So as she spoke about academic clubs, we have non-academic clubs. And those include external clubs and extracurricular clubs. Extracurricular being the sports club, the cultural club, and the social club. For the external clubs, we have TEDx, we have Hult Prize, and we also have 180DC. So I'm part of the TEDx team, and we're going to conduct TEDx They Say Again in the month of June. We recently had the Hult Prize campus event, which happened. My team managed to win the campus round, and yeah, it was amazing. It was a brilliant event. 60 teams, external judges, industry leaders, and everything.
Sort of one more aspect of a B School student's life is being part of a particular fest or a annual confluenza of sort that happens for a lot of people. Is this a reality at this particular B School also? Are you guys looking forward to something?
Yeah, so La Conquista is there, where all of our academic clubs come together to bring out events, case studies, and all sorts of competitions. We have participation from IIMs and all the top colleges. So it's right at the door. We're preparing for it.
And we're very excited this year because we're going to hold it offline. So that's the first one for us. So we're very excited.
So Naina, my takeaway from this particular segment of our video here is the luxury club that you mentioned. And SDA Bocconi is known for the kind of global connect that it builds. So if I have to ask you, how global is the luxury club in your opinion? What would you say?
It's very, very global because, as I mentioned, we obviously have multinational brands coming in and we are working with them one-on-one, and all of those sessions keep happening. And apart from that, a very big aspect of it is also the fact that we get to go to Milan for 4 months.
4 months.
And Milan is like at the epicenter of all of this fashion and luxury, and it's just so magical over there. So we can't wait.
Do you think I can find somebody here who have gone through that experience?
Yeah, definitely. Just in the next room.
And I hope that I find them, or you guys can help me find them and have a
sure,
buzz.
let's go.
And you guys can continue playing.
We'll take this over when we come back.
Sure,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's go back. All right, guys, Nana pointed me to you guys. I'm expecting to learn a little more about the Milan semester that we all have heard since morning. I know for a fact that you have been to the Milan semester, and I know for a fact that you are going to soon be part of the Milan semester. So why don't you guys, tell me a little bit about what exactly happens and what are you expecting to happen?
Yeah, I'm actually just as curious as you are. I was trying to get in touch with one of the seniors to know everything about that. So first, tell me, how does it feel to be back in India on this campus?
I think the experience is unparalleled in terms of the global immersion that we get there and the kind of interactions, the kind of classes we have. So all in all, I think it feels great to be back, but I will miss it.
So that's one. Second is, I did see a lot of photos of the Milan Fashion Week and it seemed really interesting to me. So can you tell me a little about that as well?
So that was a very interesting element that was part of our experience there, where a lot of students who were in the luxury club basically got an opportunity to go backstage for the Milan Fashion Week. So they were part of the entire last minute hustle bustle which happens and how things go around and how the organization works completely.
Also very important, how are the academics there? Are the classes different from what we have at Asia Center? How are the people there? Just tell me everything that goes on in a classroom.
So I think to a certain extent, obviously we have our Italian professors coming here also.
Yeah.
So the teaching style pretty much remains the same. But an interesting thing to see in a classroom is that in this exposure, you have about people from 80 different nationalities coming in, and everyone has a different perspective and a different way of going about a solution. I think that's what matters the most. In terms of classes, there are a lot of case studies that happen, there are a lot of simulations that happen. So for example, one of the classes that was there for change management, so they had a proper simulation run as a consulting firm where they had to bring in, they were given a basic topic and they had to actually act as a consulting firm and go in depth and maybe like a 80-90 page thesis about it.
Okay.
And that's something which you cannot take away from a person, to actually live that real simulation training that's going on.
Because she's soon going to be part of the experience that you have had, any last piece of advice that you want to have for her?
Try to be proactive in terms of firstly exploring Milan and making most of the connections that you can make.
Lovely, guys. Thank you very much for sharing this experience. Thank you for helping her and probably a lot of other people who probably are going to be part of this experience in their lives soon. We are almost at the end of this particular video. I am also probably going to end this video after knowing that all of this input results into what. And probably you guys have guessed it already that I'm talking about the placements.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that I will get somebody in the college, as I have gotten all this while, to talk about it more and give me perspectives. Thank you very much
Thank
once
you so
again,
much.
and all the
Thank
best.
you.
All the best.
Thank you.
one Milan semester to the other. I have two other people who have been part of the Milan semesters as told by Rohan to me. So guys, welcome to this last segment of this particular episode or the video here. Guys, tell me a little bit about the placement structure here. How does it happen here? What sort of processes do you go through? Are there dedicated sessions that take place here?
Yeah. So essentially how the structure is that a lot of the bodies are of course student run, but we have our main career development services which heads all the placecom activities, and there is of course a placement committee which is student run, and they have corporate relations related work, they have learning and development related sessions with students, all of which aims at just getting the students ready for any recruitment season. And of course, supporting them are also the academic clubs, and support is basically provided to students whenever they need it. Like if you want any help, there are a lot of people who can help you out.
I have the same perspective from the finance club side as well, especially with helping students with the technical and the soft skills aspect of cracking an internship or a full-time offer in that case. But yeah, just to add on to the structure, also post our summer internship, we also have a mandatory corporate social responsibility CSR internship, and this is where we spend 2 weeks with a NGO or a government organization, and we help them with any particular tasks that they have. So there's a real feeling that we're giving back as well.
Speaking about the CSR internship, we had a very interesting experience because in the 2-week period, we all individually went on the Keto platform and raised money for a program that the NGO was running. So this particular program distributed menstrual kits to underprivileged girls, and that kind of impact is truly heartening because you see what is the point of using social media, using the power of numbers to kind of make a bigger difference.
In addition to the placement process and the support that's given by the CDS specifically to SDA Bocconi Asia Center, when we go to Milan, we also have access to the Bocconi and Jobs Fair, and also the platform, which is all available throughout our course. And through this, students here have the opportunity to apply to jobs abroad, and these jobs are specifically marketed only for Bocconi students. I think it's a great opportunity for students here to not only work in a different culture, but also have the opportunity to stay there in the long term.
And what sort of companies visit here? What sort of recruitments and roles happen here?
Yeah, so it is of course across a variety of interests which students have, which may be marketing, consulting, finance, and there are of course a fewer niche roles which may be either operations or those interests that we have. We have Microsoft, which had come in for summer internship, and of course for final placements we had EY that came in for consulting.
What are the eligibility criteria and what is the admission process, if you guys can highlight a little bit on that?
Sure. So eligibility criteria is simple. We have certain tests that we accept, which is a CAT, GMAT, NMAT, and of course there is the Bocconi test as well. Additionally, it is also looking into the the profile of the student. So the soft skills of the student, how are they in other aspects apart from just academics, which is very important to get a diversity, and which is true for a lot of students. They come from varied industries, fashion, engineering, non-engineering, commerce, lawyers, everyone.
If you have to summarize your day at SDA Bocconi Asia Center in one sentence, what would that be, and what message would you want to leave our audience with who is watching this video?
I'd say probably a lot of effort. Like you have to wake up with drive. It's pretty hectic, but end of the day you feel satisfied with the work you're doing. And SDA Bocconi as a brand and SDA Bocconi Asia Center as well as someplace you should definitely think of coming to if you want global exposure, you want to learn from people from different backgrounds, and at the end of the day become a person with an outlook that is just not restricted to say a certain country.
The only thing that I have to say is every morning that I come into college, I don't know how the day is going to be ending, but I know for sure that it's going to be a pretty fulfilling experience.
And it indeed was a fulfilling experience for me as well, knowing you guys a little better and understanding how this particular institute works and the people around here work. If you want to know more about this institute, there's a link in the description, go check that out. If there are any further questions that you have about this institute, feel free to comment below. and we might just send these questions to the authorities here. Thank you very much once again, guys. I appreciate your time here, and I wish all the very best to you guys for your future endeavors.